It's funny because it's the things that they clowned you for. It's the things that you tried to temper in yourself. It's the things that have always made you different that are going to make you successful. It's the parts of you that you've always hidden from the world, the parts of you that made you weird. It's those things that make you successful. When you finally lean into them, when you finally cut the chains from who you really are in totality, it's when you put no stock into trying to make sure that other people feel okay about your work or your content. When you just go. When it becomes this very personal thing. When you start becoming okay with the yin and the yang of who you are, the yin and the yang of your energy, of how you show up. When you accept that, and when you're okay to call upon all of you, when you're ready to call upon all of you, and that's when you start to see success. Because the best version of you isn't any different than who you are right now. It's just the version of you, the mode you get in when you accept who you are, when you settle into yourself, and when you stop questioning yourself, when you stop asking other people what you should or should not do. You stop asking yourself and you start feeling yourself through the world, through every decision, through every action. You stop trying to temper your words or temper your actions. You need to let your dark side loose. The dark side is everything I just listed. The dark side is the part of you that you tried not to have other people ever see. The crazy parts of you. The overly passionate parts of you. The parts of you that when you did put on this display, they called you crazy for. The parts of you that when you did put on display, they called you ignorant or arrogant for. The parts of you that when you did put on display, they ostracized you. The parts of you that when you did put on display, it felt like obsession. You need to let that side of you loose. And when we say the dark side, there's a negative connotation to anything dark. But really, everything in this world, in this reality, has the element of duality to it, the yin and the yang, to make it whole. The yin is no better than the yang, and the yang is no better than the yin. And one cannot exist without the other. There's duality in everything. There's life and death. Without death, there is no life. Without life, there is no death. And without either of the other, there is no reality. Without your light, there is no dark. Without your dark, there is no light. Without enlightenment, there is no ignorance. Without ignorance, there is no enlightenment. You must embrace all of you. And a mentor once told me this, but so long as you continue to cut out parts of you in order to fit an image or a mold, you will never be successful. You will never be as successful as you could be. Externally, monetarily, materialistically, or internally. We cut out parts of ourselves because that's how we have made ourselves feel safe. That's how we've gotten results. Whatever petty result, these results pale in comparison to what we can achieve. We cut out parts of ourselves because of a mold that other people have created for us, usually from childhood. I myself was the smart kid, the golden child. I had a chip on my shoulder. And so I grew up to not want to offend people. I grew up trying to temper my words. And this became very difficult when I wanted to start businesses, because business is a very cold game. It's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. And oftentimes it calls for you to be direct, professional but direct, gentle but firm. And this can apply in many ways, but that was my mold. And so many people, they feel like they have, here's the thing, you don't have to fight to break out of a mold. You decide to have it exist or not. We don't fight out of things. We withdraw our belief in things by deciding to withdraw our belief in things. And then it dismantles from our reality. It dismantles from our perspective. That perspective itself dismantles. When people decide to start believing in God, they decide. They don't fight towards that belief. They decide it. They plant the seed in their own mind, and then the same evidence appears, from when they did not believe in God, but they now see it in a different way. When people stop deciding to believe in God, the same evidence appears as when they did believe in God, but they decide to see it in a different way. They decide. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Everything about our society is systematically designed for you to forget that you have a power of decision. They're trying to make the decisions for you. Don't you get it? They're trying to limit the choices you have. They're trying to give you the set of choices to make and then recommend the choices you should make. Everything about our society. Corporations, jobs, the corporate world, social media platforms, media, technology. Everything is designed to say, here are your three best options recommended from the higher ups. Here are your three best options. Now you decide. By the way, we recommend option B, of course. And if you don't pick option B, it's reverse psychology for you to pick option A or C. And I could go on and on about that, but it's all designed to make you forget that you have the power to decide. We don't fight a limiting belief. In the context of manifestation, we don't fight a limiting belief. We decide whether it limits us today or not. You decide. You decide. We all deal with fears. Fears is a human trait that will never go away, but you decide if that's going to limit you or not. When I turn on the cold shower, for the times I do take a cold shower, I know it's cold and I'm scared as hell to get in. And then I decide if that's going to stop me from getting in or not. You decide. And the decision I encourage you to make today is to decide to let your dark side loose. Because I promise you, your friends are not the ones you think they are. Your friends are not who you think they are. Neither is your family. Neither is your dream partner or anything like that. Nobody is who you think they are so long as you are living in a mold, in a box. You're getting a false view of who people are. You're getting a false view of who people are when you are trying to make sure that you don't offend them. They're reacting to a fake version of you. And it's okay. I'm not going to ridicule you because this was me and I know how it feels. I'm not going to talk down on anybody because not everybody's trying to hide themselves because out of malice. They hide themselves because that's, again, how they feel safe. How they feel like they're able to venture into the world and show up. That's why people hide themselves. And then when we get in our car, or when we get in our office, or when we get in our room, we say how we really feel about what happened that day. Or we watch the content that we really want to watch. You know, let your dark side loose. Who are you actually? You are the person when the doors are closed. That's who you are. And if you haven't refined this yet, spend more time alone. Because your dark side understands that this is very, very personal. And nobody said success was going to be clean and easy. Self-improvement is about accepting who you are. Self-improvement is about accepting what you're capable of. That's what confidence is. Confidence is knowing what you're capable of and then deciding if you want to pull through with it anyway. Confidence comes from knowing what you're capable of. Nobody's going to look out for you in the way you need to be looked out for. Nobody's going to treat you and be there for you in the way you need to be treated. It's all you. You're the only one here. You're the only one here. You're the only one here. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to use all of you. You need to let your dark side loose. Embrace it. It's you as much as your light side is. This whole love and light thing, it only goes so far. And I'm not saying be a person of malice, but I'm saying accept who you are in totality. And only the ones who are meant to receive this will receive it.